I'm Satori Sensei and I create cosmic flow that flings open the doors of your perception. So this is a little something I wrote and it just like touches my heart and I hope it touches yours. So here goes. I remember you. I remember you before you were this broken, cold version of yourself. I remember you before you learned to make your inner child hide in the shadows. I remember you before you lost that skip in your step, that smile on your face. When you were excited about the little things, before you were made to feel stupid for little things you fell in love with in life, like bubbles, balloons. Before you learned to hide your real self for the sake of what others may think. I remember you before you became comfortable with fitting in and sacrificing yourself each step of the way. I remember you before your mask became so layered that you forgot who you are. I remember you sitting in the corner feeling left out. I remember you being in the spotlight in the center of your friends, but feeling terribly lonely in that crowd, all the same. I remember my heart. It's going out for you. Just going out for myself. Melting a little, sinking, fluttering. Okay, so I remember you when you laughed with childhood spontaneity and were not afraid of being silenced or criticized for it. When your laugh had that quality of wild abandonment to it. I remember when your little heart was bursting to explore the world, when you couldn't wait to be an adult, when you couldn't wait to sleep and be on your own schedule to eat whatever you wanted. I remember you yearning to grow up, to be an adult. I remember when your little heart was bursting to explore the world, when the questions you had about it were endless. I remember when you shared your excited stories about the small things with uninhibited enthusiasm. Before you felt unsafe, unloved, and invisible. Before you learned that people are too busy to listen to you. Before you learned your happiness was inconvenient. When your light shone so bright and brilliant that it terrified the big people into wanting to protect your naivety, wanting to protect your childhood, till it faded slowly inside and became confined to fewer spaces, fewer places, before your glee learned that it was unacceptable and there may not be space for it. Before you learned that practical things were more important than what you felt and what was real to you. Before you learned your reality was ridiculous. Before you were made to feel small for being you. When you loved the deepest parts of you. When you played out different parts of you. when you approached people without expecting them to shun you, to shrug you off, to push you aside, to make fun of you for how you felt, for your sensitivity, for the depth of your thoughts, the depth of your feeling. Shamed for being you, shamed for being a girl, shamed for being a boy who cried, shamed as a girl to feel you weren't capable enough, you weren't smart enough, shamed as a boy to feel that your sadness had to be expressed in a certain way, shamed as a woman to feel that your anger was not acceptable, you had to hide it behind closed doors. Shamed for the clothes you wore and the confidence you carried. For we were told your confidence was unwarranted, unacceptable, undeserved. Before you learned that what everyone else wants, what the group wants, what people in school want, what the teacher wants. The teacher wants you to not express, to not be you, to not cry, to not feel, to not be a bother, to just go along with whatever is being taught, to wait to say what you want to say, to wait for your questions. All of this made you feel insignificant, small, invisible. I remember you before you felt so small, so limited, so scared. I remember you before your tiny heart learned that to be something or someone of value, it had to do things other people liked and keep doing it till it killed you inside. I remember you before you forgot yourself and got lost in the ways of the world. Man. Wow, that just, yeah. So, everything we are, everything we've ever been, we've been ripped apart, analyzed, micromanaged, shamed from so many different angles that it makes sense that we are so fragmented, so unsure, so deeply terrified inside while we're all pretending. It's like a great act, it's like a theater play that goes on and on. We're pretending that we're fine, everything's great. And deep somewhere inside, we know this voice that says, you could be more. You could be more. You want to be more. But you've told yourself you can't be more. There is no more. This is it. This is what you try to work for. This success, this car, this house, whatever it is, why doesn't it make you happy? It should make you happier. Why am I not happier? There's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me. I remember you before you felt there's something wrong with me. And I hope we can remember ourselves that same way. We can find ourselves again because it's all there. It's all freaking there. It's just beneath the surface waiting to come out. It does come out at certain points, in certain places, in certain situations, and that's what we love. That's what we're chasing. We just kind of want to forget ourselves, our adult selves, at times when we go out clubbing, when we go out with our friends. There is this need, and that's what we're doing, although we know it, whether we know it or not. Yeah. And life is in the small things. Those little things that used to make us happy, those little things that used to fill us with joy, and that joy that we wanted to express to the world. We wanted to scream it out loud. We wanted to go and yell from the rooftops, from the hills, to tell everyone we ever came across how happy we were, before we were told to stop doing that, to get in line, to fall into place like everyone else, to wear that same mask that everyone else was wearing, to not express ourselves at certain times, to just go along with whatever the curriculum or the syllabus is, whatever is going on in class, whatever is happening outside of us, and everyone in the group is following, we're supposed to follow it too. And if we don't, we get punished. So we get shamed for it. So if we don't want shame, which is like a really scary social emotion that makes us feel so ugly inside, then we better fall in line. And we're sold this dream that to be beautiful, to be loved, to be part of this great system, all the great systems, we have to be someone else, something else, someone less than our real selves. And so we become someone less than our real selves. But then we figure, where did we go? Think about that. Where did we go? Do we feel we're still here? We are still here, but are we expressing the real selves of ourselves? Are we expressing all of us? Are we actualizing? Are we getting to be our entire potential in this world? Or are we just, drifting along, passing the time, being agreeable for the hell of it, for the sake of everything? It's very intense for me, and I hope it touches you somewhere deep in your heart. I hope so with all my heart. Bye.